For those of you wondering, no, I'm not going to be doing an episode on the top 5 butts in comics, because we all know it's just going to be Dick Grayson in all 5 spots. So the hype train for The Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, is in full swing. We had the panel at New York Comic Con, we have DC's YouTube channel doing a whole bunch of videos on the matter, and of course the solicits for November, giving us our first look at the synopsis and the cover. But not just the main cover for issue 1, also the variants. All of them. At the time of this recording, there are 32 different variant covers for issue 1 of The Dark Knight 3, and there are probably going to be more to come. This isn't the first time a publisher has gone variant crazy, and it definitely won't be the last. But my question is, when do we hit oversaturation? When do we agree that we've had enough with variant covers? The cover of a comic book is quite possibly its most important aspect. Before the internet and easy access to monthly solicits, comic book covers were often the first and only way for publishers to grab readers' attention. If the cover was cool looking and intriguing, maybe the actual story will be cool and intriguing. Now, a variant cover is just basically an alternate cover used for the same comic book, usually by a different artist than the one that draws the main story. According to Wikipedia, the very first variant cover was for John Byrne's Man of Steel #1. This is the main cover, which matches the art layout of all the other issues in the miniseries, and this is the variant. Very different. In the 90s, during the speculator boom, variants rose in popularity, marketed as collector's items that would go up in value. Of course, they didn't, and when the market crashed, variants fell out of favor with readers and publishers alike. They started to make a resurgence in the early 2000s when books like Identity Crisis were getting multiple reprintings, and each reprint got its own variant cover. And eventually, other comics would start getting variant covers, particularly special comics like new #1s or a new creative team coming on to signify that this was going to be a special issue. Now, there are all different kinds of variants. You have your standard alternate cover, but then you also have things like retailer incentive variants. These are variants that a retailer will get as long as they order X amount of a specific issue. Some publishers even offer store exclusive variants where only that store will get that cover. Sometimes it even has their name on it. There are sketch covers, which are basically just penciling, no inks or coloring. There are blank variants, which are intended for you to give to your favorite artist for them to do a sketch on. Sometimes a publisher will put out variants for their entire line, usually based on a particular theme. Last month, DC did a Green Lantern anniversary theme, and this month, Marvel is doing a hip-hop theme. So like I said, they're all different kinds of variants, but one thing remains constant. They're supposed to be collector's items, things that only a hardcore collector would really want. But sometimes publishers and even stores can abuse their power and take advantage of a fan's collecting mentality. For one thing, they're often unreasonably priced. The cover will list its solicited price, usually $3.99, but stores will mark them up to $10, $15, sometimes even $20 depending on the rarity. To me, that's just unfair. Yes, these covers may be more scarce than the regular covers, but you're artificially making something valuable before the market decides that it even is valuable. Also, I'm not really a fan of store exclusive covers. I don't want to have to go all the way to Texas just to get a Daniel Acuna cover for Star Wars #1. The only other option I would have is to go to eBay, and I know that's definitely not going to give me cover price. And speaking of that Star Wars comic, Marvel released 68 different variant covers. 68! And I know people are going to try and collect them all. That's insane! Now, on a very basic level, variants don't hurt anything. Nobody is forcing you to go and buy them, and depending on the rarity, your store may not even carry them. They're really just a promotional tool. And I honestly have nothing against variant covers. I have several myself. If my comic shop is offering variants at cover price, I'll look into it. Maybe I'll get one, depending if I like it more than the regular cover. But issuing more than 5 covers for one book, that's just crazy. And I know nobody's forcing us to buy this stuff, but come on, collectors are a little nuts. They'll do what they can to get a Mike Allred cover for Dark Knight 3. And I understand making some of them hard to get, but don't make them too hard to get. Don't make us have to go to the UK for a cover. Also, if you're going to do themes, have good themes. Cosplay covers? Not bad. Coloring book covers? Really? Anyway, what do you guys think about variant covers? Do you have any? Do you prefer them to the regular covers? Do you think there's an oversaturation of variants? Let me know down below, or anywhere on the internet. We are back to our regular schedule. Monday games, Wednesday comics, Friday whatever the hell we want to talk about. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Bob streams right here on YouTube. Subscribe to see all of that. Like this video if you like it. Share it with your friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next time. The flow of the crowd kept going from very slow to full on stop.
stop, and booths were flooded with people. It was very hard for me and my camera to get up close and get any good footage that wasn't just a sea of humans. In all honesty, it just wasn't fun for me, and at the end of the day, I found myself asking, am I done with conventions? All right, we showed you Sailor Moon. Now for important stuff.
Look at that.
Samurai style Star Wars figures.
You know, if I didn't buy the Mega Man,